So I'm just going to get into it now. So let's get to it. This is Revelations chapter 12, verse 3. Just to give you guys an understanding, a little idea of what's going on here with these NATO nations and who they are. This is Revelation 12, verse 3. It says, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads." Right? And that great dragon is this beast system, right? With the 7 heads, with those nations I mentioned, right? And yeah, because the beast is America, right? And you have the 7 kings of the earth. Out of the 7 kings of the earth, you know, we'll get into it though. It says, verse 4. No, so let's break it down here. So the great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns. So when you go back here now, it shows you the 10 horns. Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, right? And so on forth. Netherlands, Greece, Spain to Portugal, right? Ireland, West Germany. All these different European NATO nations, man. Right? You got that. And you also have you know, and America being the harlot, the whore. Right? She's sitting on the dragon. Right? And you know, so you have so actually so now I'm going to read verse 4. It says, "And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth." Right? And this was back then when there was a, not falling away, but war broke out. This was back in the ancient time. War broke out. "And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born." So this was with Yahushai. This was in the beginning, when what was his name again? He was looking to kill the baby. That was in like what was it, Genesis? Wasn't that Genesis? Exodus? I can't remember. With the child with what was trying to kill he wiped to kill all the unborn, not the unborn, all the newborn babies at that time of the book it's talking about. There was a time where I can't remember his name right now, but he sent out a mass killing to kill all the born babies. But anyways, we'll just jump down here. I can bring it up. Herod, his name's Herod, right? But anyways, this is verse 5. It says, "And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron." This is Yahushai. "And her child was caught up unto the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and to his throne," right? "And the woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that they should feed her there 1,200 years and 60 days. And that's now, like, we've been in the wilderness. You know, we've been out here, right? Fending. The Most High is keeping us. Fending, right? For what's to come. You know? And what's to come is what we're living in now, to see what's gonna take place before what do you call it, just in the end time, like, which is now, like, just everything unfolding now in the end time, where this place is gonna be burnt with ICBM, and yeah, everything's gonna reveal itself in this time, which is happening now, right? So let's go into Daniel. Let's break down the scriptures a little bit better in the book of Daniel. We'll start at 7. You're just jumping straight to the points, trying to get some quick pointers, you know. So we'll jump at 7 and we'll start at 20. It says, Daniel chapter 7 verse 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. So this was the other kingdoms, what was before this last kingdom right now, which fell. So the 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So this is about those kings right now, which is the European empires, what was here from before, which was Greeks. What was the 4 of them? The German. You have different ones. There's 4 of them, but the 4 kingdoms, what had their time to rule. 3 of them fell. That's why you call it the revive in Rome, right? 3 fell, and I'm gonna read out what's happening now. So it says, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. That's like right now with America, his looks more stout than his fellows, because he's joined with NATO. But right now they see him, you know, he's becoming more stout than the rest. He's more bold than the rest of them. You know, I'm just saying. That's the last kingdom, the fourth kingdom to rule. Right? It says, verse 4. It says, I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Right? And that's what's gonna happen. They made war with the saints, and the saints are gonna prevail against them. Right? Because there's a lot of meat, but I'm just gonna sum it up in a capsule, you know, just so you guys can get an understanding, because you have the time where also with I get into it with what scripture is that, with Alexander and his 4 generals. That's not talking about that right now. That part happened, right? Where he got when he died, they split the 4 kingdoms. It split, everywhere split up, and then they war against themselves, right? But that part came and it passed. This is talking about right now in these times. It says, until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So the saints of the Most High is going to possess this kingdom. For in this time, the saints of the Most High will possess the kingdom. Right? Verse 23, it says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all the kingdoms. So that's this kingdom right now, what we're living in America, right? This is the kingdom of the beast. This is the this is a kingdom, right? With NATO and all these other nations, man. But right now, America, this kingdom, the reviving Rome, is more diverse than the rest of those kingdoms what came, which was with Greece and all of those kingdoms what was before us, what passed. The four kingdoms, I get into it a little bit later, but I'm just trying to sum it all up a little bit. It says, diverse from all the kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall thread it down and break it in pieces. Right? So, and that's what we're living to see, man. We're living to see Babylon, mystery Babylon, thread down this whole earth into pieces right now. This whole place is done. This whole place is wicked. This whole place is evil. This place has become more than the first. This is like all the dynasty, all the kingdoms into one. It became more vile than all the kingdoms put together. Just became more diverse. It says, and the 10 horns out of the kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise, which is out of NATO. Those European Union, those European nations. It says, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. Right? And he shall subdue 3 kings. And that already happened. Right? Those kingdoms been subdued already. Because they all had a time to rule. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time. Right? So that's now. Like, we're given into the hands of our oppressors. He changes the laws as it is today. He changes the laws and speed up the time. So right now, we're in that time where we're just waiting. We're in the time of judgment. We're just waiting, man. Because redemption is near, more than we can think. It says, verse 26, it says, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. Right? So the judgment's going to happen, and that's going to bring down this beast system. Right? Should take away his dominion to consume and destroy it until the end. So it's going to consume it, and it's going to consume it with fire. It's going to consume this whole kingdom, man, until the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. So yeah, so we're gonna rule this whole nation, man. We're gonna rule the whole earth. We're gonna rule this whole world when it's set up and established under Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, when he comes. Right? He's gonna. We're building the kingdom right now, through this knowledge and this greatness that we were given on from our elders. But spiritually, we're building it, and physically, it's gonna happen. We're gonna manifest it to happen, man. because we're gonna take this kingdom. It says, and the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Right? Okay, so let me get because there's just a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat right now.
By a historian by the name of Barry Strauss, called The Jews Against Rome. Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one.
So, you hear what he said now. That's that the Jewish guy, what's his face? What, saying that he's going to war back with the Romans. So the Jews versus the Romans. So now this is going back into the Apocrypha. This is going back to First Maccabees and Second Maccabees, and that time where the Jews and the Romans were at war. Right? They subdued the people back then in the Maccabees, in the Apocrypha, the Maccabees, right? Where a lot of things happen that our people went through and had to face back then. So this guy now is bringing back that what do you call it? That concept of going back to war with the Jews and the Romans, and really and truly, who's the real Jews and who's the Romans, right? Those people are not the real Jews. The real Jews is us Hebrew Israelites, man. If you really put it down the nitty gritty. So they're really going to war with Yahweh Shimei Shai, man. They're trying to go to war with Yahweh Shimei Shai, right? The Romans and the Jews, that's all bullshit, man. They're trying to go to war with Yahweh Shimei Shai, man. Right? So they're gonna bring this civil war, and once there's civil war, you know a kingdom's going. That's when you know a kingdom's being done. Once you see civil war happening, that means that kingdom is finished, man. That's all it means. And we live to see that, right? We're living to see that. I got some clips on that, but we're gonna get into that too. I'm just trying to speed up things in a quick nutshell to make you guys all understand, or everybody who comes across my page or my channel can get a little idea, because I can't dwell on it. It's not to say I can't break down all the scriptures, which everything is broken down beautiful, right? Everything is done beautifully, time consuming, right? I can't say we got all day, but we got the time. We got the time. But this time now is for our people to understand where they are at this present moment in prophecies, man. In this day and age right now, you need to know what is going on. You need to wake up and come out of that deep slumber. And this is for the 1/3 of our nation. This is not for the whole world. But if you come across and you can wake up in the last trump, in the last sound of it, this could be for you, because the clock is almost at 12, man. It's almost that time where you know, the doors are shut, everything's shut. So if you can get a little bit of understanding, then that's very good, because he who hears is a blessing, right? But this is really for the elect men, who's gonna, this is just a refreshment, you know, just to keep it going, you know. Right? So let's get this. Oh yeah. Let me get this scripture actually. Oh no, I bring that out after. Let's get into Revelation. Because I'm just trying to run through this really quick. Getting back into the beast. And I stood upon the sand. This is Revelation 13:1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Right? And this is the NATO nations, the 10 horns. The 7 heads is those major 7 kings of the earth: Greece, Germany, what else? All those big reviving Rome. That, like, all these nations. You got a few. You got 7 of them. You know, the Greeks, the Germany minor. You have a bunch. I can't read them all out to you right now, but I know them. I know who they are, and you should know who they are too as well, man. You know, it's just the 7 kings of the earth, which is the main kingdoms. You know, you got France. You know, you got different empires. You know, like different kings, I should say, that hold up a governed body, right? And then you have the smaller ones, like the NATO, which is the 10 horns. So it says the 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Right? Says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right? The dragon, which is that same red dragon that we read earlier, right? Which is the 7 kings, those 7 kings, right? And the harlot being the whore, which is the beast, which makes up the beast, I should say, right? It says, verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That was talking about back in the not ancient world, but back in those other kingdoms. What was here, there's 4 of them, but 3 kingdoms fell. 4 kingdoms. You know, you have the I get into it, but you have Babylon, the Babylonians. You have the Greeks, You have Alexandra when he did run that time. You have different ones, and then you have the revive in Rome. You have Rome. This is the revive in Rome, what came back, and his deadly wounds was healed. That was the revive in Rome right now, because what happened was they got destroyed back then, but they never fully died out. They came back and built up themselves and came back strong. So he got healed, and now he runs the world now, which is reviving Rome, which were run by the beast system, which is America as well. We're underneath that system, man. Okay, so it says, and all the world wandered after the beast, which is America, which is the seven nations, the seven kingdoms, but also known as the beast system, which is right now we're in it. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Right? Verse, I read this part. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh Bashem Shai, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in the heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindred and tongues and nations. Right? And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. That's right. So once you worship this beast, this image, you're not going to be written in the book of life, man. You're not going to be written in the book of life. Right? And that's that. With that, I'm going to continue the video. All right, you're not going to be written in the book of life. Oh. And this is the time I was talking about. The fall of Constantinople occurred when the Ottoman Empire took over Constantinople, capital of Byzantine Empire. Right? These were the times I was just bringing up earlier about because the Ottoman Turks took down the Roman Empire, and they ruled the longest, because Rome ruled for a long time as well. They're one of the strongest. Where's my other? They're one of the strongest. I can't find it, yo. Yeah, they're one of the strongest. I wonder. They're one of the strongest, but the Lord set up these people to take them down, which is the Ottoman Empire. Right? Oh, Salakia. Okay, so I was gonna bring out before I get here, I was gonna bring out Daniel. Just jumping all over for a second. Can't find, where's my other book? Daniel chapter 2. and jump down 37. I know I'm all over the place right now, but I'm just giving you a quick run through where we're at right now. So Daniel chapter 2, verse, I start at I start actually at 30. I start at 31. It says, "Though, O king, saw us, and behold, a great image, the great image whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible." Right? This was the statue. That statue was made. That the kingdom, what was before this kingdom right now, the four kingdoms that came. And let me read this now. Verse 32, it says, This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. And right now we're living in that part of clay and iron right now, of the feet, of the end, which is the natal and the beast. Basically, they're they're weak. Some is strong and some is weak. And the reason why it's strong, because they're weak and strong, is because they're divided. One part is divided against the another. So they're weak, and we're living out that prophecy right now, man. We're living to see that the heads are fighting against each other. They're not strong. So these nations are fighting against each other right now, and we're gonna see it unfold more and more and more until they get destroyed, like literally destroyed, wipe off the face of the earth, right? So it says, verse 34 says, Thou saw till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them into pieces. And that's Yahushua, man. That's this what's happening right now. Yahushua built up the men to even get this knowledge and wisdom and understanding right now, because we're not to say that we're a part of that stone, but Yahweh Shem Shai is that rock, what's gonna come in and dismantle everything, in which we are also helping to destroy this kingdom as well, man, through the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? So it says, break in pieces. Then was the iron and the clay and the brass and the silver and the gold broke into pieces together, and became like a shaft of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And that's we're gonna live to see that happen, man. This is a great time that we're living in, because we're gonna live to see all of this take place. It says that smote the image, became a great mountain, filled the whole earth, right? And the stone smote the image, became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. And that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna fill this whole earth when it gets established back, when the kingdom comes back. we're gonna fill this place. It says, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Oh, though, O king, art a king of kings, for the power Yahweh Bashem Yashai of heavens has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven has he given unto thy hand, and has made thee ruler over them all. Thou art his head of gold." Right? So this is referring into Babylon right here when it says, "Thou art his head of gold," but really and truly, we're gonna have a kingdom what's gonna set up forever. That's what's gonna last on earth forever, right? As well. So it says, "And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior." So this kingdom, what was rising inferior, remember, though the gold was the first kingdom what was ruling, which was the Babylonian kingdom. That was made out of gold, out of the statue, because there was a statue. But I'm just breaking it down in a quick nutshell so you guys can understand. It says, "And thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom," right? So a third kingdom of brass, which was Alexander the Great, which he had his 4 generals, Ptolemy, Epiphanes, Cassandra, a bunch of them. There's just a 4 of them. But anyways, we're not going there right now because this is it's a lot, but I don't have the patience to do it, you guys, to break it all down right now to show you what and what and what, which I should. But right now you're supposed to already know who the 4 generals are, who's Alexander the Great, this time period, right? Or look it up, do some history, do some research. It's all there. It was all time in, right? Everything is on time, right? I'm just doing a little quick video just to sharpen up your brain, get you back in the spirit of thinking. And this is just off the top. I don't have no paper. I'm just briefing through, but I know what I'm like. I can see what's going on, right? So normally it's good to take down some notes and some pointers and get everything jot down that you could pinpoint everything and not be all over the place. But I'm just going off the spirit. That's why I'm flowing in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. I'm just flowing in the spirit right now, which that's why, not trying to say I'm rushing through, but I'm just trying to get everybody's mind stirred up to just think where we are today in this day and age right now living, because we're living at that time where it's at the end of a thing. So it says, "Which shall bear rule over all the earth," right? Which is the last kingdom, which shall bear rule over all the earth, which is the 4th kingdom, shall be strong as iron, right? "For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all the things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise," right? So that kingdom got destroyed, which is the last kingdom to come right now. It's going to tell you the part right here. Verse 41, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay and part of the iron, the kingdom shall be divided," right? And that was going in to the kingdoms right now. What we're seeing right now is being divided, right? Yeah, we're living to see that they're they're separating the NATO nations is separating from the beast, which is America, which they bring that beast system, right? Which they basically seeing they're watching America from afar, like this. They're eyeballing America. This ties into Revelation chapter 17, what talks about they're gonna turn around and hate the whore, which America is the whore, right? What sit up on the waters, right? But I'm just breaking it down as sweet as I can. It says, and the tolls part of the potter's clay and part of the iron, and the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou saw the iron mixed with the merry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of the iron and part of the clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, which we're seeing a kingdom right now, partly strong and partly broken. It's not strong. They're at each other's necks. So we're seeing that the kingdom, they're strong in military power, but right now they have other people looking down. Like Germany is coming back up. They're working their way into it. All those other nations, France, Belgium, all those other nations, what are the NATO nations, are watching what's going on. And that's in Revelation 17. But it says, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as the iron is not mixed with the clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, Yahweh, the power of heaven, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. So that's our kingdom, what's going to come back. The Lord's going to set up our kingdom, what's never going to be destroyed, what's going to be a kingdom what's reign forever. It says, shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume these kingdoms. So this kingdom, the Lord's going to break these kingdoms in pieces and consume it with fire, man. These kingdoms will not be able to stand. It's gonna be a big bonfire, you know. It's gonna be a big torch. So it says, and it shall stand forever. Right. So that nation, those kingdoms gonna get destroyed, but our kingdom's gonna stand forever. It says, for so much as thou saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver. Those were the other nations what all had a time to rule. And the gold and the great of Yahweh Bashem Shai has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. Right? That's that. And that was that. And that, what I just broke down was this statue, the gold head, the silver, the brass, the iron, and the clay. This is the what I was trying to break down for you, what I was trying to say. The Babylonian Empire, what came and ruled. It says 539 BC, right? If you read the book of Daniel 2:1, it says, and then 2:31 come down. That's that we just read off the top. Silver, the Persian Empire, Khan, beautiful. Because I couldn't call up the names, but these are the empires what did rule at the time. That was 331 BC, from 539 to 300 BC. That was the bear. That was the different nations what rule the Persian Empire, brass, the Grecian, right? The empire, the leopard. This goes also in ties into oh yeah, and that was Alexandria, right? And this also ties into also the book of Revelation with the no, the book is it book of Revelation also ties in with the four beasts that was going into the general the empire of Alexander, with how it got divided and split up. And then the iron was the Roman Empire, which was not too long ago, which got cut down with all these guys that ruled it at one time. Nero being one of them, you know. All these guys, Julius, Augustus, all these guys what ruled it, right? So it got Nero, that iron got cut down when those guys had a time to rule. These guys all ruled, but now it's a reviving of that ideology of Rome. It's already here, a reviving Rome. So that's why when that Jewish man, he's not even yeah, he's can't say Khazarian, but the Jewish guy, what's his name again? The one that runs Israel right now, when he says, "Oh, we're bringing back the war where the Jews are gonna fight against Rome," right? Which they're trying to bring back that a world war, right? So, and it's only to draw out it's only to draw out the Heavenly Father, man. They know what they're doing, right? This is all perfect match, perfect I can't say math, but everything is adding up and going according to the prophecy, man. You know, so so yeah. So now let's speed it up a little bit. Speed it up a little bit. Yeah, so see? Let's bring it back. Speed it up a little bit. See? The Emperor Nero died. And you see what sparked it? It plunged the Roman Empire into a civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors. Right? So we're gonna live to see civil war again. And I got some scriptures for that. Because when there's chaos and civil unrest and civil wars and rumors of wars and all this stuff, that's a kingdom falling, man. Right? That's when you know a kingdom's fallen. And I'm gonna bring out a scripture to back that very point up. Now, actually, I'm gonna bring it out right now. I'm gonna bring it out right now. This is Mark chapter 3 and 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And that's what we're seeing. And I'll read it for in the NLT. It says, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. So when you see a kingdom divided by civil war, that kingdom will collapse. Just like right now, if there's a death happen, if someone was to get killed, one of the presidents or or top elite, that will spark a civil war. That will start that can start civil unrest, because if a king of a kingdom gets destroyed, other kingdoms will want to overthrow that kingdom. Want to intervene and try and take what's not theirs. That's what. And then it's like a snake getting its head chopped off. The snake is still moving and twirling, right? That would happen. Like, everybody would be running around. It's like you living in the ghetto at night. You turn off the light, it's dark, and you turn it on, you see all the cockroach scatters. Right? They just come out of everywhere, right? Because that's the same thing what's gonna happen. That's what happens. This civil war, this is what's gonna happen. So when we see it happening right now, there's gonna be a great judgment, right? So look at this. See?
Status. Got Honduran here trying to get status.
Just to speed it up a little bit, I'm just running through the scriptures.
1, 2. I'm gonna break it. Open the door. Open it.
Watch
The last warning.
What's the glass?
You're gonna feel right.
And look what it is. They start with the Most High's people, which is the Latin tribe, the Southern tribe, the Latin tribe, and then soon it's gonna go up to you Jakes, Israelites. Soon it's gonna go up to you niggas, the niggas in all the ghettos. It's gonna come, and all this stuff is gonna reach you guys. All of this stuff that you see is gonna reach you guys. Right now they're starting it off like this, and starting this insurrection, just like this. These are the things that stirs up civil wars and civil unrest. Look at this, an innocent man. But you know what? They're wicked because they don't want to go back and turn their wicked ways onto the Heavenly Father. So this is gonna happen. These people need death. These people need to be destroyed. And the Lord is doing this. And He's sanctioning this to happen, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to get so far worse that it's going to reach your mama, your grandma, your uncle, your aunts, your brothers, your sisters. It's going to reach home. It's going to hit home hard. And by then, you're gonna want to stand up then, but it might be too late because the battle has already started, man. So you see, they're starting the tyranny. They're starting
Stay back.
They're starting all
Stay back.
the evil. So evil will be multiplied. And that's what's happening.
I'm not resisting.
Let's pause it a little bit. Let's get some scriptures up. So let's go to since I'm already in Mark, I jump to 13:7 verse. I read 7 to 8. It says, "And when he shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be he not troubled, for such things must needs to be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes and divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." So that's what we're living in, man. The beginning of sorrows. This is Jacob's trouble. This is the beginning of sorrows, man. What is happening right now, what we are living in and we are seeing right now is Jacob's trouble, beginning of sorrows. And the time is coming where you have nowhere to run. Let's bring out this. Just going through it real quick. This is Luke chapter 21 verse 9. It says, "But when he shall hear the wars and commotions Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass. So we're seeing this, so we're not going to be terrified. We're seeing this because these things shall come to pass, right? But the end is not by and by. The end never isn't yet, but it will come. Wait for it, you know? Right? So we're living to see all of these things unfold. Right? And let's go to Matthew's chapter 24. And we'll start at 6. It says, and he shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that he be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For the nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. Right? I read just 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and he shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So that's where it's gonna come down to, man. It's coming down to you, Jakes, man. At the end of the day, the war is against you, man. You know, and it's just like the prime minister, the president of Israel said, man. It's Jews against the Romans, and at the end of the day, the ultimate Jews is you Israelites, man. You Hebrews, you Israelites, you guys are the prey at the end of the day, man. You know, so you gotta wake up, man. Just to, you know, give your life unto Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, what more is there to it? There's nothing more to it. There's nothing else left to do. So why not? You know? Well, anyways, the Lord don't even want to deal with you niggas. Because the Lord's not dealing with you 2/3 niggas. Because you know why? Y'all are wicked and you don't want to get salvation. You don't want to turn on to the Heavenly Father, man. And that's how it is, man. You don't want to do it, man. You know? And we know that. We see that. Because if you did, you'd have wake up. You'd wake up and you'd be searching and you'd be asking questions and you'd be outside. You'd be trying to seek the men of the Lord, you know, but you're not doing so. So we know. So with that, what the hell with you guys, man? The Lord's gonna kill you niggas, man. The Lord's gonna kill you guys like how we're watching them kill these people. The Lord's gonna be killing them left, right, and center. Is not right now. It looks all peaceful prosecution. But sooner or later, he's just going to kill you and just get rid of you guys, man. It's that simple. And with that, I'd like to say shalom. All praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the men of great millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. And let us, and understanding that we can may teach our fellow brother, who's gonna probably wake up, and you know, always honor even to the men what's pushing this work, man. Hopefully to the elect men, the 144,000 men, you know, who's gonna wake up to this, you know, and get the understanding. Shalom to you all, man. You know, shalom.